Tonight, studying the coronavirus, why a local hospital says it needs healthcare workers to help out in order to find answers. Plus, we'll introduce you to a 105-year-old woman who survived one pandemic and is hoping the vaccine she got today will help her live through another. And experts are warning that the Super Bowl could lead to super spreaders, precautions you can take as you enjoy the game.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
St. Luke's Hospital is looking for frontline workers to help answer lingering questions surrounding COVID-19. It's all part of a federally funded study called Recover. CBS3's Leon Valdez shares what you can expect if you want to sign up and what health officials have discovered so far.
This will be over eventually, and this is an opportunity to help us get there faster.
Duluth health officials say there is still so much we don't know about COVID-19.
Who gets COVID? How many people are asymptomatic versus symptomatic? How many people were infected way back in the spring versus more recently? How well does the vaccine protect people against infection?
This is why St. Luke's Hospital is calling for more people to join its federally funded COVID-19 Recover study. The study began in September with more than 500 healthcare workers, and now St. Luke's is looking for 100 frontline workers to take part.
People who are usually young and healthy, still working age, and have to leave their homes every day.
There is certain criteria participants must check off. 18 years or older, have a smartphone, and follow weekly instructions. St. Luke's internal medicine physician, Dr. Rachel Gordon, was the first one to sign up for the study.
COVID is still new.
Dr. Gordon has to swab her nose weekly and drop it off at a St. Luke's site.
We do front of the nose swabs, so they're just getting right up here to the front. So really not painful at all to do.
Health officials are also asking those who want to take part not to be vaccinated just yet, as many of the healthcare workers already in the study have been vaccinated, so they need comparisons. So far, the study has been able to uncover some things, says infectious disease specialist Harmony Tyner with St. Luke's.
Not everybody who tests positive for COVID has symptoms at all, ever, at any point.
Tyner adds health officials also found people who tested positive for COVID-19 before they were showing any symptoms. Tyner says even though this information is already known, this justifies and shows people who are going out that they still could be spreading COVID-19 without knowing it.
The study will finish up in May. If you would like more information, including how to sign up, you can head to our website. The Duluth NAACP and local health experts met today to discuss COVID-19's impact on African heritage communities. They conducted a survey earlier this year asking those in the Black community their thoughts on the pandemic response, on resources, and more. Through that survey, they found responders want more community engagement, diversity within health systems, and sources for credible information. A local doctor says getting that feedback from the community is key in helping disproportionately affected groups moving forward.
Using an equity lens in terms of our policies and processes. And that's, one thing to be able to do that really, because we all have blind spots. To be able to do that, there has to be sufficient engagement with community and to ensure that community voices are part of what's shaping policy.
The meeting was part of the Duluth NAACP's Mask Up, Back Up, Vax Up campaign. Wisconsin lawmakers passed a COVID-19 relief bill today, but Governor Tony Evers has promised to veto it. Today's bill was the first passed by the legislature to address the coronavirus pandemic in 10 months. It's a Republican-backed measure that Democrats say would do nothing to combat the virus or help reopen the state. Evers announced his plan to veto the bill moments after the Senate voted along party lines today, sending it to him. Evers called on the legislature to pass a version he can support. He backed an earlier, more limited version, but Republicans added provisions he opposed. One of those would prohibit employers from requiring workers to get vaccinated. We're also learning more about the governor's 2-year state budget proposal. Evers wants to spend $43 million to boost the state's rural economies. The Democrat will submit his budget to the Republican-controlled legislature in about a week. Lawmakers will take the next several months rewriting it before passing their version sometime in the summer. Evers' budget proposal includes plans to benefit farmers, dairy and meat producers, and to help protect water resources. Dave's here for our first look at the weather. Just downright chilly out there today.
Yeah, you have to take a look, Kristen. Actually, there are a lot of people that thrive with really cold weather.
That's true.
It builds character, it provides sisu for us native Northlanders, and for the newcomers who want to become acclimated. All right, talking about temperatures, they're going to get a little bit. Sometimes those batteries just don't last. When it gets colder, that drains them even faster. There, we'll blame it on that. Arctic outbreak, the polar vortex, it's killing microphone batteries. Well, what we have to deal with tonight, a wind chill advisory for our entire area. And in northern Minnesota, a wind chill watch is on top of that all the way through Tuesday. This is going to be a long cold spell. And you know, we're not quite done with the snow either. Folks in the Upper Peninsula do still face a winter weather advisory till Saturday, 7 o'clock in the morning. Other than that, well, we see that the sky is trying to slowly clear as Arctic high pressure takes over for the next week. Still a little bit of light snow happening for folks in the snow belt. Maybe another inch is possible there. Our short-term forecast says tonight and Saturday could get as cold as 15 below as we get towards early Saturday morning. That's here in the Twin Ports, probably 20 below farther inland. Partial sunshine should finally break out for a good portion of Saturday, but that won't really heat us up. At best, we're going to have a high of around 4 above here in Minnesota, maybe a hair warmer for folks in Wisconsin and Michigan, but colder than normal temperatures have come, and they will stay for at least a week. When will we break the cold snap? I frankly can't tell you right now, but I'll give you some hints on when we theorize it could, coming up in a few more minutes.
Well, the deck is expecting to have its busiest weekend since November. Here's a live look at the convention center. This weekend, it will host a Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra concert performance, the UMD men's hockey series against Miami, Ohio, the Duluth amateur hockey tournament, and the COVID-19 testing site. The deck's interim executive director says all of that will help after an estimated $6.3 million lost in 2020. Well, speaking of the weekend, if you're thinking about hosting a Super Bowl party, you might want to think again. That's the message from Minnesota state health officials. They say even though the state's coronavirus numbers are improving, it's still not the year to have a big party. Department of Health Director says fans who ignore the advice and gather on Sunday anyway should at least wear masks and practice social distancing. She also discourages people from sharing traditional game day food. Receiving the COVID-19 vaccine has been a historic moment for people during this pandemic. Here in the Northland, one woman received her vaccine today after living through not one, but 2 global pandemics. CBS3's Emma Quinn was there for the special moment.
At 105 years old, Martha Westland of Grand Lake has lived through many historic moments in our nation's history.
At my age, I kind of the ups and the downs, you know.
On Friday morning, Westland experienced yet another monumentous day.
Okay, ready?
Sure.
She received her first dose of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine at Community Memorial Hospital in Cloquet.
It's happy because I think it's a good thing. You know, our world is a little bit in bad condition, but it'll help all of us.
Westland was approached by the hospital to receive the vaccine. She spent most of the last year quarantining at her own home. Her son lives next door. Now she's looking forward to seeing family.
Yes, because, you know, I don't have much visitors because they don't want to bring anything into the old lady.
And while the last year has been hard on everyone, the vaccine means hope is on the horizon.
Looking forward to happier days.
Martha turned 105 in October. She says her cat, dog, and her sons have been keeping her company during quarantine. New numbers show Minnesota's arts industry is continuing to struggle during the pandemic. The Minnesota Orchestra is reporting a loss of $11.7 million. That's the largest in its history and topping last year's $8.8 million deficit. The orchestra canceled 52 concerts and 19 rental events along with a huge fundraiser. Meanwhile, the Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis had a record $2.7 million operating deficit last year. The Minneapolis Institute of Art also posted its first loss in 27 years. The city of Duluth is now asking the court to reconsider a recent order in the fight over the former Cozy Bar. Last week, Judge Eric Hilden told the city they have to brace one of the walls on the downtown building to prevent an outward collapse while more litigation plays out. But today, the city filed an appeal, citing the judge failed to consider security in that decision. The building has been in disrepair for years, which has only increased after multiple recent fires. The city wants to demolish the building, but historic preservationists, led by the building's former owners, have tried to stop that. No word yet on when the Court of Appeals could hear the case. It's still more than a month away, but Minnesota's governor is taking steps now to be ready for the George Floyd trial. The trials for the former police officers accused of Floyd's murder starts March 8th. Today, Governor Tim Walz authorized the Minnesota National Guard to provide public safety assistance. Guard members will respond to the Twin Cities as needed. Officials worry the trials could spark civil unrest. Walz faced criticism during the riots following Floyd's death, with some saying he acted too slowly in responding to the violence. Still to come, winter trails are a source of fun for many Northlanders, why some skiers are upset. Next.
The cool down's already come. Our high today was only 6 above after a morning low of 3 below, but those temperatures will seem downright balmy perhaps as early as tomorrow, when the real heart of the cold comes to call and wear out its welcome perhaps. We'll talk about the depths of the cold and the length and the duration of the cold snap coming up after our break.
You already know that Cary Toyota Superior is a great place to buy and service your vehicle, but we have a lot more to offer every driver and not just people with Toyotas. We have the Yakima line of products for the adventure seekers, including roof racks, bike and kayak racks, and cargo carriers. We also have running boards, bed steps, and Access brand tonneau covers like I put on my truck. And for those of you who like a clean vehicle, we have professional detailing services and all-weather floor liners from Toyota and WeatherTech. Cary Toyota Superior, we have something for every driver.
I'm Caitlin and I'm into nursing. We have small class sizes, so we actually get to know each other, know our instructors. All of the faculty at Lake Superior College, they're here to help you succeed and choose the right path.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? Well, relax. The Carefree Dental Card is now available in your area. Call the number on your screen and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree Dental Card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. The Carefree Dental Card is just $15.95 a month. So call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-945-8449 to receive your free Carefree Dental Card information kit.
Don't let the weather ruin your day.
Covered by a winter storm watch.
Dave Anderson, Caitlin Moffat, and Peter Kavitkauskas. The CBS3 weather team, tracking more than just severe storms. Dave.
Mariah Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and discoverwisconsin.com. Plus, subscribe to the Cabin Podcast, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19. And at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
The company must be desperate sending you here.
They want you back. You're the best they have. They're offering you anything you want. More autonomy, your own hand-picked team.
I need your freaky-ass superpower.
I'll get my cape.
You good?
Just like the good old days.
Who the hell are you?
Neighborhood watch.
What they used to call you in Kandahar?
The Equalizer.
Watch The Equalizer, Sunday after the Super Bowl on CBS.
Get local vaccine information all at CBS3Duluth.com.
Local news and local weather here on CBS 3.
Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Yesterday's snow has left for most of our town, so towards the UP, yeah, another inch of lake effect could happen tonight through tomorrow morning. For the rest of us, though, higher pressure from the Arctic's taking over, and the process has already knocked temperatures down. Here's our low temps from this morning, where it went towards 5 below in places like International Falls and Hibbing, and about 3 below here at the head of the lakes. Folks in Wisconsin and Michigan held on to some above-zero readings, and so did east central Minnesota and some parts of the North Shore. But boy, this is probably the last night that happens. We all go below zero by tomorrow morning and then stay that way, well, from this Friday to next Friday at least. I only say it's a week-long cold snap because I don't trust the models out to day 8. It could go longer, but well, frankly, let's hope it doesn't. A little cold weather never hurt anybody, but a lot could cause some troubles like it has with water mains already. So we'll get some, we'll build the ice, and then let's get something slightly warmer back towards normal to enjoy. Try to split the deal like that. Current conditions at the airport, 3 above. For now, westerly northwesterly wind 18 miles per hour. It could gust towards 20, even 25 over the next couple of days. That's why we have a wind chill advisory in place tonight for all zones. Be careful outdoors. 29.66 inches of mercury is our air pressure. And here's a latest look at our temperatures, where most of us are still at least teetering above zero, if not even by a hair in places like Ely or Big Fork and Grand Rapids at 0 straight up. Up to Gunflint, it is down to 2 below, but look, we still have 4 in Ironwood, 9 in LaPointe, 7 towards Superior, 1 above Cloquet, and for Hibbing and Evelyn, 2 International Falls as well. But in just a matter of hours, we go below zero, and probably will stay that way for several days. I'll show you on the 7-day forecast when at least the daytime high will try to go back above zero. But even daytime highs will be below zero next couple of days. Doppler map right now shows higher pressures trying to thin out the clouds, but it's a slow process. So I do think we'll have a mostly cloudy sky tonight. And from those clouds, there is a chance for a little flurry activity from the Bayfield Peninsula through the UP. So a little touch of lake effect there. But otherwise, a lobe of the polar vortex has broken loose and is taking over much of the middle United States, and will continue to conquer and dominate our region for a week, like I mentioned. Maybe next weekend, next Saturday, finally, the cold will withdraw, and a low-pressure system that's bottlenecking off towards the west will finally break loose and come towards our area. But that is a very iffy bit of wishful thinking right now. It could happen, but it may not either. We'll keep our fingers crossed to see which way things go. We'll track the cold and the snow, of course, for you as we go through the next week. Now let's go through that week with our forecast tonight in Minnesota. Actual air temps, 20 below inland to 5 below by the lake. But with that wind chill factor, northwest wind 10 to 20, it could feel like 30 to 40 below. That's the rate at which heat will be removed from exposed skin. So again, bundle up. Wisconsin, Michigan, air temps 10, 12 below. Flurries possible for the UP. Then tomorrow, daytime highs in Wisconsin and Michigan, 2 below to 1 above. And maybe the UP gets a little more lake effect still. Otherwise, partly sunny for much of the rest of the region. High temps in Minnesota, only 10 below towards International Falls, maybe 4 above right by Lake Superior. And with the 7-day forecast here, in general, overnight lows will be well below zero, daytime highs a few degrees below zero. Maybe by Wednesday we at least break even and get to zero. Otherwise, next Friday is the next chance for us to have a daytime high above zero. So Kristen, Neil, he's already here. You guys bundle up too. I'm old enough to be your dad, I guess. So now I want to make sure you have your hat on, your scarf, and your mittens, you guys, and we stay safe.
We will bundle up, we promise. Thanks, Dave. One of the many great things about the Northland is easy access to winter trails, but snowmobiles not staying in their lane makes for some unhappy skiers. Eve Graves is the trail steward at Magny Snively near Spirit Mountain in Duluth. She says when a snowmobile uses trails it shouldn't, it destroys the grooming and makes it dangerous for skiers. Graves thinks the damage is intentional and is frustrated with the city and DNR for not doing more to prevent it. She's been the trail steward for around 7 years. This winter, she says snowmobile damage to the trails is the worst it's ever been.
This year it's gotten a lot worse. We're thinking because more people are outside, it's gotten significantly worse this year. I've been to other trails where they're just demolished.
Graves wants there to be better signage, gates, and enforcement. Tonight at 10, we hear from a member of the Snowmobile Club who shares what he's been doing to try and stop rogue snowmobilers from ruining the ski tracks. Coming up in sports, it's playoff time for the Superior boys hockey team. Highlights from their regional matchup coming up right after the break.
Northwest Outlet is your warm clothing headquarters of the Northland. Superior.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19, and at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
Always ready, always there. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
This year has been just a huge year. We've had everything going on with the pandemic. It's hard to not have your heart go out to those people, the millions that have been impacted by that. That's why we do what we do, to try and keep people in the know. What's going on with this? When is it going to end? When's the vaccine going to be here? How is this impacting you? Where are resources to help you get through the pandemic and keep you and your family safe through all of this?
For coverage that matters most to you, tune to live local CBS3.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
The final Sunday of football is the biggest of them all. An epic matchup between the kid who's changing the game and the legendary quarterback. Mahomes and the defending champion Chiefs against Brady and the Bucks. Super Bowl 55, Sunday on CBS.
Then watch your local news with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Mack, Dave Anderson, and Kelly Hinsett on live local CBS3.
Local news and local weather here on CBS3.
It feels like the WIAA hockey playoffs kind of snuck up on us, but here we are in the first week of February, and Superior is already starting their postseason. They couldn't play at Westman tonight, so they were technically the home team down in Spooner, taking on the Blizzard co-op of Frederick, Luck, Grantsburg, Siren, and Webster. The Spartans coming in as a 2-seed. First period, Lucas Williams got things started. The freshman bats in a one-timer, 1-0 after 1. And the floodgates burst open in the second. A bouncing puck in front finds its way to the stick of Robert Powell. And just seconds later, they get another. Right off the draw at center, they work it back in, and Kel Piggott buries a rebound. It was 5-0 after 2. The Spartans advance with the 9-0 win. They'll take on the winner of New Richmond and Medford next Tuesday. History was made last Friday night as Duluth Marshall girls basketball player and Utah commit Gianna Neepkins became the 21st player in Minnesota Prep girls basketball to tally 3,000 points in their career. CBS 3's Ryan Campos spoke with Gianna on this achievement.
Going into their game last Friday night against Pine City, Gianna Neepkins would need just 11 points to get to 3,000, but ended up dropping 51 against the Dragons to lead the Hilltoppers to victory. Neepkins says this feat couldn't have been done without her support staff.
There's no words to express how amazing it is to have the people, my teammates, coaches, parents around me to help me get to where I am. And I know, like, with how supportive they are, they're going to keep pushing me to be better.
Despite a limited number of fans in the stands last Friday, parents and teammates were still able to congratulate Gianna of her accomplishment, something she says goes a long way.
It was super awesome that my team and the Pine City community had signs and stuff, so it was super great just to feel all the support, and I'm super grateful for everything that they gave to me.
And with the announcement this week that a state tournament will happen in girls basketball, it gives Gianna and the Hilltoppers extra motivation after their season was cut short due to COVID last year.
It's unfinished business, so we are just going to, with that motivation, I feel like it's going to help us just like work even harder than we have before.
And before her time wraps up at Duluth Marshall and she heads to Utah, she's still got some goals to accomplish personally to make her better.
Focusing in on my defense, I think that's super important. And then I've also been working on my leadership. I think that's always important and something I can get better on.
Neepkins and the Hilltoppers are back in action Monday against Hermantown. Now that's all for sports. I'll send things back to you, Kristen.
Thanks, Neil. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, many Northlanders use winter trails as a way to get outside during the cold months. When those trails get damaged by snowmobiles, they can become dangerous. Tonight, we'll dig deeper into this story to find out how snowmobile clubs are preventing trail damage. Well, it's time to honor those who work hard to accurately forecast and report the always changing weather, especially around here, right? Today is National Weather Person's Day. It honors all individuals in the fields of meteorology, weather forecasting, and broadcast meteorology. We just want to take a moment to thank our very own Dave Anderson, who has been reporting the weather in the Northland for 34 years. Dave started his career by drawing maps for other meteorologists, and now he not only forecasts on the evening news, he's also teaching the next generation of meteorologists. So on behalf of the CBS crew, we just want to say thank you, Dave. We appreciate you every day.
You guys got me, Kristen. I thought I was going to be the bridesmaid as usual when this day rolls around every year. No, it took 34 years, but you got me.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. And you know, my LSC meteorology class, we met this morning, and all the students first did a forecasting drill where they made a forecast with no data at all.
Okay.
No models, no nothing, just what they felt in their mind. And then we did it real with 4 different sources. So I get to grade those tomorrow night to see how Saturday turned out, and it should turn out cold. Take a look at my forecast for that day. We're looking at a high temp to be only around 4 below after a morning low of 15 below. It's a sort of a cold snap that could last a week.
Thanks for joining us. See you at 10.